Hi, I'm Daniel. My pronouns are they, them, and theirs. In today's practice, there's been this kind of theme showing up in my world of remaining connected to the present moment. I think that as we just kind of talked about briefly, there's a lot of change in the air. There's a lot of movement happening, so to speak, and a lot of things going on all at once. And that's kind of akin to just this human experience. There's always going to be a lot happening. We're multifaceted beings. And so there's always going to be movement taking form in various realms of our life. And there are opportunities to reconnect to the present moment. And I think that in these practices, these are our chances to do that. So something that's been showing up for me is seeking what it feels like to tune in. And that's kind of the simplest way I can put it, is tuning in, because that is really all encompassing of learning, how is my body communicating with me? How is my mind communicating with me? How is my breath communicating with me? And the energy, how is the energy communicating with me? On the emotions, like all of these various parts of us are always communicating. And I find myself, when I get really busy and I get really overwhelmed, I'm not showing up with curiosity. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but I have to do this thing right now, or whatever it is. And I get really caught up in the tasks, the calendars, the tasks of deadlines and all these other things. And when I show up each moment with curiosity, when something rises and I'm like, oh, what is that? What am I experiencing right now? I can kind of realign and say, okay, yes, I have this task to do, but my body needs to eat right now. Or I have this task to do, but I haven't stood up in an hour or 2 hours. So maybe I stand up and take a walk around my house. And so every time I just notice something, kind of arriving with curiosity. And that's a little bit of the practice that we'll get into today as we move through some slower restorative style movements, creating intentionality around each movement so that we can tune in and understand how we're being communicated with at all times. So that's kind of where we're headed and what we're focusing on. You can find yourself in a comfortable seated position. The backs of the hands can rest to the knees and the palms can face up. And as you're ready, allow the eyes to soften, maybe all the way to closed. If the eyes fully closed in this moment produces any kind of stress or tension in the body, let the gaze remain open and grounded a few feet in front of the legs. And taking this moment to transition into this space on the mat for this intentional practice. In the same way that we move from task to task in our day-to-day off the mat. And sometimes we arrive here and immediately get into practice. Don't hold space for the transition. And so as you arrive here, begin to notice. Notice how you arrive, where the breath is at, where the mind is at. And in this intentional shift into our space together today, you might find that there are certain areas of the body that feel a little bit tense, maybe certain areas in the mind that are feeling stuck, without the need to fix or change anything. Just simply breathing your awareness wholly into your space. And as you give yourself permission to show up exactly as you are, it's another opportunity to inquire. Inquire with the sensations in the body and what they're communicating to you. Inquire with the emotions, the energy, the breath. And slowly allow your hands to float up and meet in a prayer position in front of your heart. gently tilt your chin in towards your heart. And as you take this moment to pause, maybe this is the first time you've been able to honor your heart and connect to this space today, maybe this whole week, maybe this whole month. And so as you hold space for your heart here and now, begin to notice any intentions that might be rising, any qualities or words that show up in your space without trying to overthink the answer, but allowing it to rise from kind of the depths of this heart. And maybe those qualities show up as sensation in the body. Whatever the intention is, we'll breathe into that for another 2 breaths. And then slowly let the hands float away from the heart, landing towards the knees. Gently lift up your chin and open your eyes. Good. Extend your legs forward. We'll shake out the legs. We're going to start our practice recline today. So come into a reclined position on the back body. No props are required in this moment. You might windshield wiper the knees from side to side to let yourself get settled here. You might be ready to hold in stillness. And take about 2 breaths again in this transition, acclimating to space, tuning in at each moment. When you're ready, the body can start to find stillness. Extend your right leg towards the sky in any capacity that feels good. You might rotate the ankle in one direction, maybe in the other, pointing and flexing the toes, just finding movement in the foot and the ankle, getting rid of any tension that might be in there. And then start to take your hands in connection with the back of your right leg and bend into your right knee. And then extend the heel towards the sky. Maybe you exhale to bend and inhale to extend. And allowing the movement to be as fast or as slow as you'd like. And taking any range of motion that feels good. Allowing for any pops or cracks that are taking form, knowing that those are just a release the body is calling for. When you're ready, extend the heel towards the sky. Start to draw the toes back towards the body. And then bend into the right knee, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Begin to press your right knee away. Keep your left foot grounded into the mat for this moment. And take a few breaths here, grounded in this figure 4 shape, a reclined pigeon pose. And slowly, if you'd like, you're welcome to unplug your left foot from the mat and interlace the fingers on the outside of the shin or behind your left hamstring. And maybe you use your right elbow to guide the right knee outward. Notice if the tailbone wants to pull away from the mat, maybe you gently lengthen the tailbone towards the earth and see if that shifts the energy moving in the body. And finding the variation of this shape that works best for you today, knowing that that might look different each day, and that's okay. As we tune in with intention to understand, we allow these shapes to evolve as we do. When you're ready, gently release the left foot to the mat if it's not already there. And then walk your left foot towards the left side of the mat. It might even walk off the outer edge of the mat. And from here, drop the left knee towards the midline. And so the intention here is to keep the left knee in line with the left hip to access the stretch in the back body and the outer edge of the hip. The left knee does not have to meet the mat. So if the left knee is floating, that's perfect. Wherever you feel the opening starting to happen. And the right knee or the right ankle is kind of a gesture to ground the left leg a little bit further. Hands can rest to the torso or in a T position. We'll hold here for about 10 full breaths. Giving yourself real opportunity to settle into each shape. and to understand how you're being communicated with. You have about 5 more breaths here. And if you'd like to take your left thumb towards the low back and kind of massage the back body, you're welcome to. And if you'd like to hold in stillness, you're also welcome to stay. And slowly allow your left knee to lift all the way up once again. Walk your left heel back through center. And then extend your right leg back into the sky. Lower the right foot to meet the mat, grounding both feet into the mat. Let your hands frame the hip. On an inhale, reach the arms over the ears. As you exhale, let the hands come back towards the side body. Good. Inhale, reach the arms over the ears. Just resetting here. Exhale, the hands land towards the side body. The last one, inhale, reach the arms over the ears. Exhale, the hands land towards the side body. On your next inhale, lift the seat away from the mat. Maybe the arms also reach over the ears. Maybe the hands stay framing the hips. As you exhale, lower the seat towards the mat. Let the hands land towards the side body. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift the back body away from the mat. Maybe the hands follow. Exhale, lower the back body towards the earth. Hands can frame the hip. Once more, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. Take this moment to pause, breathe in, and breathe out. On your next inhale, send your left leg into the sky. And again, start to point and flex the toes, bringing some movement into the ankle and into the foot. Maybe you circle in one direction and then the other. And then let the foot find stillness. Press the heel towards the sky. Interlace the fingers behind your left hamstring. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, bend your left leg at the knee. Good. Inhale, extend. And exhale to bend. And taking a few rounds at any pace and in any depth that feels good. Next time the leg is extended, hold here, take a breath in, and then cross your left ankle over your right knee. And taking a moment to pause with the right foot grounded into the mat. And when you're ready, unplug your right foot from the mat if you'd like to do that today. If not, the right foot stays grounded. The hands will connect to the right leg in any capacity that feels good. We'll take about 3 more breaths here in this space. And then slowly lowering your right foot to the mat once again. Start to walk your right foot towards the right side of the mat, and it might even come all the way off the mat. And then drop your right knee towards the center. Again, the knee doesn't have to connect to the earth. You might take a pillow or a block, a bolster underneath the knee even. And then taking 10 full breaths here. The first 5, settling into this shape and letting the body kind of ground here. And for the last 5, you're welcome to massage the back body. You'd like to invite in that massage. Allow the right thumb to come somewhere towards the low back or the SI joints. Massaging out the back body. And then slowly releasing the massage, letting the right knee point to the sky once again, and then walk the right foot back through center. Inhale to unwind your left leg, then exhale, left foot lands next to the right. Begin to windshield over your knees from side to side. Noticing any space in the back body, maybe in the hips. And then allow the legs to come to stillness. Connect the soles of the feet and let the knees drop out to either side. Taking on a Supta Baddha Konasana, the hands can land somewhere towards the legs, the hips, or framing the body. And within the next 3 to 5 breaths, seeing where you can make a deeper connection, a tuning in with intention to understand all of the ways that your body, your mind, and your heart are communicating with you in this moment. And then slowly start to draw the knees towards one another. Begin to rock forward and back on the spine as you hug the knees towards the heart. And as you rock forward and back, maybe the shoulders start to peel away from the mat. And then maybe rock all the way into a seated position. If pressing your way into a seated position feels better, you're welcome to press your way up first. And from here, take the hands connected to the knees. On your breath in, lift the heart, lift the gaze. As you exhale, press into the hands and spread your shoulder blades wide. Inhale to look up, shoulders draw onto the back body. Exhale, press into the hands and spread the shoulder blades wide. Twice more, inhale to lift. Exhale to curl it in. Last time, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to curl it all in. Good. On your next inhale, find a neutral position with the spine. Reach the arms out into a T position. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, start to draw your right hand across the front body towards the left palm. And then peel the right elbow back as if you're kind of pulling back on a bow and arrow, and then open your right arm out. Good. Inhale to connect the right hand towards the left arm. Exhale to peel the right arm across the front body to open all the way up. Good. Maybe your gaze follows your right hand as you inhale to curl towards the left and exhale across the front body back to the right. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Hold here. Maybe the gaze comes through center. Take a long, steady breath out. On your next inhale, switch sides. Left hand sweeps across to connect towards the right hand. And then peel the left elbow back. The hand reaches across the front body to open out to the left side. Inhale, circle the hand forward. Exhale, peel the elbow across. 3 more times on this side. Inhale to circle forward. Exhale, bend the elbow, peel it across. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, let the hands come down and frame the hips. And from here, we'll extend the right leg forward. I'll come to face sideways so you can see me. And then grab, if you have a bolster or a pillow, grab that to support your practice. If you have blocks, those might also be helpful depending on the variation you'd like to take on. So I'll show you a few, but we're going to come into a forward fold over this right leg. So your bolster can land on top of your right leg. You can create a ramp with your bolster. or your large pillow if you have one. Or you can create a table where blocks will frame your right leg and then your pillow comes to rest on top. And so whatever variation is serving you best today, allow yourself to move into that space. You can reach the arms out to the side or all the way overhead to create length in the spine. And then when you're ready to exhale, begin to fold forward, landing the heart towards your bolster. Letting go of the need to touch the toes today, but allowing the body to simply rest here. Maybe the forehead comes to your bolster or to the hands on top of the bolster. And we'll take about 10 breaths here, really giving yourself opportunity to settle into this shape. And so often we pass through some of these shapes and assume where the body will take on sensation. So often it's in the hamstring in this shape. And maybe you notice that the back body is starting to activate or release. Maybe the side bodies. Maybe something's happening in the shoulders and the neck. And so becoming aware of all of the various parts of you in this moment. The various places and spaces where sensation arrives. We'll take about 2 more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, begin to rise all the way up. Place your props to the side. And we'll bend the right leg at the knee. Start to slide your left foot, this way. Slide your left foot towards your right hip. And then cross your right knee over your left, or right ankle over your left knee. Reach your arms into the sky. Then as you exhale, take your left elbow around your right knee and let your right hand land behind the back body, creating a twist here. You might take the elbow to the outside of the knee if that feels good. It's up to you, really, whatever the body wants to do today. But really giving yourself that permission to connect to this moment and how this shape arrives here and now without the need to change it into what it was yesterday or the day before or 2 months ago. Now on your next inhale, make your way back through center. The hands can frame the leg. As you exhale, unwind the right leg, unwind the left leg, and shake up the leg. Good. From here, we'll switch sides. So bend your right leg at the knee. Right foot comes to inner left leg in some capacity. Finding the variation with your props that you'd like to use. My personal favorite is the table, so I'm going to use that one again. On your inhale, the arms can reach out and up. On your exhale, begin to fold forward. I'm trying to take the doing out of this left leg. So even the flexing in the foot of drawing the toes back, maybe you'll let that release. Maybe you let the foot just kind of hang out today. And again, about 10 full breaths in this shape. Noticing if there's resistance to pausing, to a sense of stillness or silence. Where is it that you can drop in just a little bit deeper? Just about 3 more breaths. And then slowly let the spine roll all the way up. Place your props to the side. Bend your left leg at the knee and then slide your right foot towards the left hip. From here, cross your left ankle over your right knee and then reach your arms into the sky. As you exhale, right elbow hooks around the left knee, left hand lands behind the back body. And in this twist, you're welcome to stay right here if this provides length and spaciousness in the body. If you'd like, you're welcome to put your elbow on the outside of the knee. It's really up to you, whatever the body's looking for today. Noticing where the twist is feeling really active, where you can settle a little bit deeper. You have about 3 more breaths. And then slowly start to unwind. Hands can frame the hips, unwind the left leg from the right, and then right foot comes out. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay. And from here, we'll begin to take on a tabletop position. So you can cross the legs first if you'd like, and then walk the hands forward or make your way into this shape in any way that feels good. Once you've arrived here, take a breath in to draw the shoulders onto the back, look up and let the tailbone lift. As you exhale, press into the hands and spread your shoulder blades. Just once more like that. Inhale to lift. And exhale, press into the hands around the upper back body. Inhale to take a neutral position with the spine. And then we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. So left knee can stay stacking under the left hip if that feels good, or you can walk the left knee back to create a little bit more of an extension through the front of the left leg. Bringing your props in any capacity that works for you. So bolsters, blocks, all of it is welcome. Once you have your prop set up, again, a table, a ramp, a stack in any way that feels good. Allow the forearms to rest to something, or the hands to rest to something. We only have about 5 full breaths here, really letting the extension come into the front of the left leg after working through a little bit of contraction in that space. You might even press the top of your left foot into the mat to move into that space a little bit deeper. And from here, curl the left toes, slide the left knee forward so the knee is under the hip, and then begin to extend your right leg. You might press your right heel forward a little bit, but trying to keep the props in the same place. So working into an Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits in a wide variation to give the body some extra space. And just have about 3 breaths here. Maybe the hand shift to your props. Maybe it's the forearm still. And then slowly bend into your right knee once again. This time, keep your right hand or forearm connected to the prop and take your left hand to your hip. As if you're coming into a side angle. You might even turn your left toes back slightly. And from here, reach your left arm back behind you. And keep pressing the right knee outward to create some space at the hips and maybe in the heart. Just 2 more breaths. And then begin to ground your left hand to your prop. Circle your right knee around to land in your tabletop position. You might need to shift your prop formation over slightly towards the right side of the mat. And then we're just going to extend the left leg back. Step left foot to outside of the props. Take a breath in to lift the heart. And when you're ready to exhale, let the forearms connect or the hands to stay connected. Adjusting the stance as needed. So walking the right knee back or forward in any capacity. Maybe flatten the top of the right foot to the mat and press the top of the foot into the mat to activate the psoas a little bit more. And just 2 more breaths in this shape. And then curl your right toes, slide your right knee forward. From here, press into the hands and extend your left leg. Again, you might need to slide your left heel forward slightly. And lift the heart when you're ready. Welcome to stay here or lower to the forearms. Totally up to you. Just have about 3 more breaths. And then slowly press into the hands. Bend into the left knee once again. This time, left hand will stay down. Start to reach your right hand to your hip. And then from there, maybe the right arm reaches out behind you. You might even turn your right toes back slightly and keep guiding your left knee outward to create that space at the inner edge of the hip. Just 3 breaths here. And slowly let your right hand land to the prop once again. Circle the left knee back, making your way into that tabletop position, and place your props to the side. From here, we'll make our way into a pigeon pose. So you can enter that from tabletop or from downward dog. I'll show it to you from downward dog. But again, any entry mode is perfect. Right leg will come behind you and then bend the leg at the knee. Take your right knee towards your right wrist. Right ankle moves towards the left wrist. There's no need to get the shin parallel to the front of the mat. If that doesn't feel good, you're welcome to keep the foot as close to the pelvis as works for you. And then sway from side to side. If you have a pillow or a block, maybe you take it underneath the right hip to support the body. Maybe the props come out in front of you. Again, to let the heart rest. When you're ready, allow the heart to come forward. Maybe the forehead comes in connection with stacked fists, with stacked palms, with any prop that is there for you. We'll hold here and breathe here for quite a bit, allowing for any releases to take form that need to. Noticing that when we give ourselves this opportunity to pause and to really connect here, there's almost no way that we can't tune in, that we can't start to listen and understand. So in this place of deep listening, of creating deep connection, what is the conversation that's happening inward in this moment? Invite you to settle into that space for the next 10 breaths. And then from here, press into the hands, slowly making your way out of the shape. Walk your left knee in slightly to create some space. You might come into a tabletop from here. You might come into downward facing dog, rolling the props away to give yourself room. And then when you're ready, only when you're ready, without rushing to get there, switching sides. Left leg will come towards the sky. Draw your left knee towards your left wrist, left ankle towards the right wrist. And then once you've landed here, you might sway from side to side. You might take props anywhere that feels supportive. And if you're placing a prop underneath the left hip, notice if the right leg wants to kind of follow and the inner edge of the right knee comes to the mat. Try to keep the hips squared forward to protect the knees while you maintain the support. And then when you're ready, you can roll forward or lean forward rather. And settling into this shape and breathing here. Again, breathing into the connection that this present moment offers. Noticing that each moment has something new to connect us with. And so similarly, when we're moving in this practice off the mat, every moment is a new opportunity to connect. So if we feel like we haven't connected for the past hour or two, the beautiful part of this practice is that this moment is the perfect moment to begin. And so from wherever you are, continuing to open this conversation inward. We have about 10 more full breaths here. And slowly, as you become ready, grounding the hands into your bolster, moving everything to the side, slide your right knee forward, make your way back through a tabletop or a downward dog. Take about 3 to 5 breaths, creating any movements that you need in this moment to find a release. And then allow the body to come to stillness. Let the knees meet the mat and take on a child's pose. Maybe you sway from side to side in your child's pose. Maybe you hold in stillness. We'll take about 3 breaths here, transitioning back towards these grounded shapes on the mat. And slowly slide the hands under the shoulders, begin to roll all the way up. We'll extend the legs forward. You might need to face sideways on the mat, depending on how much space you have. We're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. And so the heels will come towards the top corners of the mat, or just come out wide if you're still facing forward on the mat. And then grab your props. Again, that ramp style with one block at the highest and one block at almost the middle height serves really well in connecting the heart towards the bolsters here. And the table works as well. So anything that really feels good. Before we do lean forward onto our props, take a breath in to reach the arms into the sky. On your exhale, let the hands come down towards the mat on the either side of the hips. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, let the hands come towards the mat. Just creating some space in the side body. Inhale to reach high. Exhale to let the hands land. Good. This time as you inhale and reach high, exhale, let the hands land out in front of you. Begin to crawl the fingertips forward, making your way into your variation of a forward fold, using any and all props that support you well. And always knowing that it's subject to change and you can adjust in any way that feels good at any point in time. You are never stuck in shapes. Just 2 more breaths here. And then slowly let the spine roll all the way up, growing the crown of the head towards the sky. Place your props to the side and bend into the knees, start to walk the heels towards one another. We're gonna take the right shin parallel to the front of the mat and bring the left knee coming directly out of the left hip. So taking on a 90-90 shape to adjust this position, the heels can come closer to the pelvis to create more space in the hips. And then maybe your left knee comes forward towards the right foot. Again, adjusting the angles to find a little bit of comfort in the pose. So finding the angles that work best for you, and then start to walk your right hand out to the right side. Take a breath in here and a breath out here. And try to press the inner edge of the left knee towards the mat. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, circle the left hand over to the right side as well. Take a breath in to lift the heart. As you exhale, begin to fold. Good, 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Last time, inhale and lift. Exhale to fold. This time, let the forearms connect. Maybe a block comes under the forehead or under the hands. And your next inhale, begin to rise all the way up. This time, walk the fingertips through center so the hands are framing the right shin, and then fold forward from here to any capacity that feels good. Your next inhale, begin to rise. Let your right hand land towards the right side once again. Press into the right hand to lift your left leg and circle it forward. And then from here, unwind your right leg and we'll switch sides. Left shin comes parallel to the front of the mat. Right knee comes out of the right hip, and then adjusting the angles as needed to create whatever shape you'd like here. On your inhale, reach your left arm out to the left side. Exhale here. One more inhale. Press your left or your right knee into the mat to start to activate the inner edge of the right leg. And then begin to walk your right fingertips over to the left side. Take a breath in to lift the heart. On your exhale, begin to fold. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, begin to fold. Once more, inhale to lift the heart. And exhale, fold. Maybe the hands stay and the forearms connect to blocks. Maybe the forehead connects to a block. We have about 5 full rounds of breath in this shape. And slowly walk the hands back towards the left leg, then all the way forward so the hands frame your left leg. From here, breathe in to lift the heart and breathe out to fold forward over your left shin. And just 5 breaths here as well. And then slowly begin to rise all the way up. Lean into the left hand to lift your right knee and walk it forward. And extend both legs forward and shake out the legs. And from here, we'll come back into our reclined position on the mat. So if you were facing sideways, face long ways on the mat once again, and begin to roll onto the back body. Let the feet be grounded in the same way that we started, knees point skyward. And from here, just take a few breaths to let the spine get grounded into the mat beneath you. As you become ready, press into the feet, lift the hips away from the mat, taking on a gentle bridge pose without the need to really squeeze the seat towards the sky, but really just letting the hips move a few inches away from the mat. We'll take 3 full rounds of breath here. And then slowly let the back body return to the mat. Take 2 full breaths. And when you're ready, locate one of your blocks. We'll come back into bridge pose with the support of a block. If you don't have a block with you, a pillow works, a rolled up blanket works, or you can take on that same variation of bridge that we just took on. So totally up to you. Press into the feet to lift the hips away, and then set your prop under the low back. So the sacrum will be connected to your prop, and the tailbone will gently hang off to create some space in the back body. And we'll take 5 full grounding breaths here, almost releasing anything that's stuck, any tension that's manifesting in the body into the prop beneath us. And when you're ready, press into the feet once again to remove the prop and let the back body rest to the mat. And from here, hug the knees towards the heart and begin to rock from side to side, giving the back body a gentle massage. And slowly let the body come to stillness. Ground the feet into the mat. Separate the feet as wide as the narrow width of your mat and let the knees connect towards the center. And so as the knees connect towards the center, finding a little bit of an internal rotation with the legs to reset the back body and the sacrum. And we'll take 3 full rounds of breath here. And slowly walk the feet back through center. Extend your left leg onto the mat and hug your right knee towards the heart. From here, your left hand will come to the outside of your right knee. Start to guide the right knee to the left and bring your gaze to the right side. And if you have your block or pillow accessible, you're welcome to place that underneath the right shin to create a support for the right leg. And just 2 more breaths here on this side. And then on your next inhale, your right leg moves back through center. Extend your right leg to meet your left on the mat, and we'll switch sides. Hug the left knee towards the heart. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and guide the left knee across the body, using your props as you'd like to find support in your shape. Three more rounds of breath here on this side. And slowly your left knee moves back through center. Gently extend your left leg to meet the right on the mat and begin to shake out the leg. Maybe pointing and flexing the toes or rotating the ankles and just finding any last minute tension relievers. Inviting in any wiggles that need to take form. And then beginning to set yourself up in a way that feels supportive as you move towards Shavasana. And so that might mean bringing bolsters under the knees or behind the back body. That might mean adding a blanket over the body to create warmth. And so whatever your Shavasana wants to look like today, allow yourself to find the most ease and the most comfort possible. Prioritizing whatever you need here and now in this moment. And as you honor and tune into all that you need today, allow this to be the place that you give yourself permission to drop in deeply, to connect to this heart, to rest and to restore as you move a little bit deeper into Shavasana. As you begin to become ready, and slowly bring awareness back to your breath, noticing how your breath moves through the body. And as this breath moves through the body, tuning into all of the sensations that it carries with it, all of the information that's provided just through the breath. And with this connection to your own breath, you might notice energies rising in the body. You might notice thoughts re-entering your space. As you become ready to make your way back into physical space, use the breath to inspire movement back into physical space, maybe through wiggling fingers and toes, or rotating wrists and ankles. Eventually finding your way to a full body stretch, whatever that might look like today. And then circle your arms around so the hands rest by the hips. Bend the legs at the knees so the feet come flat into the mat. And roll to either the left or the right side. Just take a moment to pause on whichever side you're feeling drawn to. And as you pause here on whichever side it might be, pausing to hold space for gratitude for yourself, for showing up for this practice, for giving yourself the opportunity to tune in and to connect inward here. As you express this gratitude for yourself, and begin to press up into a comfortable seated position. Once you arrive at that comfortable seat, the hands can meet in a prayer position in front of the heart, and you can gently tilt your chin towards your heart. And as you take this moment to pause and to bow in, tuning in once again to all of the intentions that rise from this heart, as we transition back into the rest of the day. Giving yourself this opportunity to always realign and always reconnect to this space at each moment that you need to, and at each moment that you can, so that you're always gaining new knowledge, new awareness, and entering space with curiosity. May you use the information that you gather from these internal conversations to invite in practices that serve you best, whether it be in your practice on or off of this mat, today and every single day. We'll take one more deep breath in together, and a long, slow breath out. And this heart, this divine spirit within me, honors, sees, and deeply bows to that same spirit reflected back in you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, always reach out. Let me know. I am here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Be well.